Hello, so today I want to talk a little bit about some of the optimizations I'm doing in getting ready for the companions, and obviously how I'm understanding better to gear them up. Because earlier stuff that I had followed, I think it actually really misled me, and I've been learning going back through with a weaker party, so I should say a weaker rogue trader, therefore overall a weaker party, how much more you can do if you really pay attention, and the importance of consumables. Before my melee pyromancer, so juice, did not need consumables. But so if we look here, if I with my Cassia here, if I group up the enemies by point of interest, I really do like this ability. There are other ways that you can buff her to get different builds and stuff. But like I said, for my playstyle, all the companion builds that I'm going to try and get out, even if I can't get them all finalized before the DLC for the videos, I will link the spreadsheet below so you guys have the spreadsheet for as I update them and when I get to them. But anyway. So yeah, one of the things I like to do here is you can obviously set a lot of debuffs to the enemies based on your staff, and on the first round, because she always goes first, if you really want to first turn this, like I do, and that was what was bugged me about swapping over to a non-warrior rogue trader. It just felt really hard to one-turn encounters. But, so what I can do here is, because I've now set up to like bunch everyone up, I've used some AP extenders, because the reason the game was so insane before was obviously officers got free turns, they could give people extra turns, and then they could 0 AP buff and stuff, which you can't do now. Stims become really important because you can still do a lot of that style of stuff. So I can not only both set up the enemies and debuff them, I can also set up allies and buff them at the same time by using stims, so you can get a lot more mileage out of your turn 1. Obviously it's consumables, so don't do this on every fight, like save this for the boss encounters. Otherwise you'll end up with, like me in my first run, where I just had tons and I'd never used them. But yeah, so obviously I want to set up this melee pyromancer here. I've moved Heinrichs from light armor to medium armor because I realized the reason he took so much extra damage when my other character didn't, that was in light armor, was he was Deathworld. Having temp HP gave me 20 more dodge and 20 more armor, which obviously he doesn't have, so nope, Heinrichs definitely needs medium armor to be able to buff up. But the good thing is, with all of his self buffs that he can put on, and obviously the buffs from Cassia, his dodge is still 102%. So it's much lower before buffs. But because you can always go first and you can turn it up to get him self buff ready, yes, you don't start as quick and it gives the enemy some turns, but he's ready to go and he's got his like offensives and defensives set up. So, yeah, the enemy's getting some turns, but obviously Lasfire's going to do nothing to him. He's got Body of Flames. So now he's actually got his turn. He's already set up. He can actually get in and start doing some damages. One of the reasons why I like to group them up, Molten Beam, best spell in the game. Ignores armor, does big juice damage. Obviously on my my Rogue Trader, which is my pure ranged Pyromancer, it's going to do way more. But Heinrichs is still pretty juiced. He doesn't have the helmet to really push his psi rating, but because he's on fire, he gets +1 anyway. But yeah, we're going to see a lot of damage spread out here because of backdrafts. God, if I had the Mysterious Sliver there. What I'll do is I will actually use his 1 AP that he has left to actually go off and pick over this guy. And you can see, woof, that's a big juicy melee. Yeah, the fire damage is only 11 because I haven't really taken anything into it, but like his melee's up to 107 now. And yes, that is critting, but that's a lot. That's good. The reason he's critting is because of allied buffs and his self buffs and some of the pyromancer skills. I'm going to spread these two out just because of enemy AoEs. I'm also starting to learn to use Jade's combos better to sort of get her going as well. Once she gets further, she can do a lot more. For now, she's just a party buffer, but yeah, when she gets into further, she can be juicing a lot more. And when she can get, you can choose some of her officer stuff. No, she does a lot. Ablard, yep, still using Malpain Shroud. He's definitely pretty good with these temp HPs. Like as you see there, non-crit, he just throw out 109 shock damage. Obviously, these guys take extra damage from shock, so useful. Power weapon's useful here. And I set my parry here, so boom, 55. Alright, so GA's turn. So, yes, he's got some good to hit here. So I'm going to obviously linchpin myself because I'm going to be the battery for myself. And then I'll also use Inspire to get a little bit of damage. So we're going to build up to try and build up some stacks. If she gets critical, she gets another one for free, which is good. And because we've got some stacks, we can then use Press the Advantage. and shoot again.
And it is the... You've got a problem.
Rat-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. Did a lot more to the fabricator and left. The pyromancer himself some good armors here. Gonna go over and use voice command for my pyromancer so I can pump up that damage a little bit more. Gonna obviously with my Pascal. Pascal is also another one. I don't use him enough or show him enough off in videos, but there is a lot you can do with him. Like you can really, if you really focus on buffing him and giving him extra attacks, he can easily do like 5k shots towards the end of the game. It's just, yeah, no, the action economy isn't the best for bounty hunters, but there are ways that you can get extra free shots and stuff like that. I do like his plasma stab, but it's still really effective. Like if I set up this little plasma AoE shot here, so he's given the party extra armor there, and he, like I said, his damage isn't too bad just shooting in there. Yeah, it's 84 AoE, so... And then obviously he's got loads of good debuffing abilities like half enemy damage and stuff like that. Those are, well, mine's 15% less. Not half, I don't know why I said half. But anyway, so my soldier here is obviously going to be what I really want to be trying to finish it. Now, one thing that is good is Firearm Mastery does give free 2 uses of the staff. So you can use that to get out some big damage here. That boss, man, he has got a lot of resistance up right now. Let's see if I just blast the Forge Fiend, what I get on him. Oh yeah, that's dead. that's a lot of shots, baby. Okay, let's see. Ooh, okay, we really want to one-turn this. We'll have to plan out some moves here. So it's probably going to be Molten Beams, really. So let's see. I can probably fire 2 this turn. So let's get some... Actually, no, I'm not going to need momentum because I'm going to try and run it this turn. So let's lower the cost of Molten Beam by 1. We're going to press the advantage. Probably should do this in the second one, not the first. So because of his resistances... Ooh, only 34. However... we might be able to actually do more damage via pain channeling because it does direct damage. So if I blast this last guy over here and pain channel the excess damage...
I'll see to it personally.
Easy. So yeah, pain channeling did 77. So he actually took more damage from pain channeling than the direct Molten Beam. Beautiful. So yeah, like I said, I've been going over the companions because obviously when I give these builds, I want to do the early, mid, and end game. I also want to show you sort of the gear that's going on there. So obviously for the Pyromancer, Eyes of Suisse for Dogmatic, you really want to get in there. Staff of Flame, you want to get that as early. And the Cloak of Hatred also very good, as well as Psychos Footweb. I don't actually have that much gear for him just yet. I've got the Aquilia Pendant on Cassia because I'm using the Medal of Alacrity on Jay. Obviously just the sort of staffs and stuff to infuse her. Again, my gear's not that overpowered, so I'm still pretty early game. Obviously, Helm of Determination, Radiant Chest Piece, the Camaraderie Badge, Peculiar Trinket for Abelard, because they're really good of some of the stuff that you can set up for him. Radiant Gloves is also quite useful for dodging allies, melees. But yeah, getting that deflection in. But Malpain Shroud is the only thing to make Vanguard viable. Without Malpain Shroud, Vanguards are terrible. I've started putting on medium stuff onto Pascal as well. The Adaptive Flap Jest, really good to go in with that. And as you get to this area, you do start to get some better stuff for him. But yeah, even Heinrich's, the gear's not come together too much just yet, but obviously he can stim up and still get stacks from it. Like I said, I swapped over to medium armor. So I can start juicing him a little bit more. But early game, you can see that he's already doing 100 damage on hits, and he can do some fairly good Psycho stuff. But this is where I am so far.